Hey, welcome back. Week 11 Fantasy Pro Insiders. Back again, once again. The Warden, the Guru, ready to give you these rankings as we are, I guess, what we can say, the almost the three quarters mark for a lot of fantasy leagues. We're rolling into week 11. Playoffs will be coming up soon.
The
Some,
stretch run.
yeah, some leagues in about 4 weeks, 3 or 5 weeks, kind of in that range. So, you should be, the teams you should have now is probably going to be the teams you're going to be rolling with throughout the playoffs, bearing some injuries, though. We got a lot of injuries from last week as well. We'll cover that as we get into the rankings. But, we'll dive into it really quick before we dive into it. I want to say what's up to my man out there in South Carolina, the Guru. What's going on, buddy?
Very little tonight, man. Very little. It's nice and quiet for a change here on the home front. We're spent most of my afternoon coming up with the rankings for today. I was able to get away from the family for a little while and take care of that. So we're good to go, man. I think we got some good ones this time. Even though there's a ton of teams on the bye,
Yeah.
um, I think we got. If people listen this week, they're gonna come up with some nice stuff. They're
Okay.
gonna come have some nice results. So let's. Why don't you get us started, sir?
Let's get it going, man. Week 11, QBs. Here we go. Coming in number one, big arm from Buffalo, Josh Allen. That elbow seems just fine. Number two, Patrick Mahomes coming back from a bye week. Number three, Lamar Jackson is also coming back from a bye week. Four, Justin Fields. Okay, a lot of people are saying this is they like what they're seeing out there. This guy continues to climb the charts. He's moving up there in those rankings. Hopefully that can translate to some wins for the monster of the Midway.
I
Uh,
don't. I want that draft pick. I ain't lying.
yeah, a lot of people want
He
that
put all,
draft
up
pick.
all the stats he wants. Let's
Rightfully
just keep
so.
losing by a missed kick.
Yeah, rightfully.
I think that was intentional, but I'm not saying it was intentional, but I don't think they wanted to ruin that pick, like you said. But
Okay, rightfully so.
let's finish.
They want that early first round pick. Okay. Number five, Jalen Hurts. Six, coming back from a bye week, Joey Burrow. Seven, Dak Prescott. Eight, Justin Herbert. Nine, Aaron Rodgers. We'll talk about him in a little bit. 10, Kirk Cousins. Big game that they won out there last week in Buffalo. 11, Jimmy Garoppolo. 12, Derek Carr. Big divisional game this week against the Raiders. 13, Jared Goff. 14, coming back from a bye week, Dame Jones, followed by Russell Wilson. 16, Marcus Mariota. 17, Ryan Tannehill. 18, Kenny Pickett out in Pittsburgh. 19, Taylor Haneke out in Washington. Little QB controversy out there. Not so much, though. Carson Wentz still isn't ready, though, but they're just not sure they're going to hand the keys back to Carson. So we'll keep Taylor in that rankings up there. Number 20, Matt Sadley. Jeff Sadley, great choice. I thought he made the great choice on last week on putting that veteran Matt Ryan, the guy that they signed. There still is a little life out there in Indy. I mean, don't go with this rookie. Jeff Sadley say, hey, what the hell, Matt Ryan, we give you the ball, let's go. Big win that they get out there against the Raiders. 21, Andy Dalton. Just got that breaking news as well that they're going to continue to roll with Andy Dalton over Jameis. 22, Mac Jones coming back from a bye week. 23, David Mills out of Houston and running out the top 24 QBs. Also coming back from a bye week. Got a lot of guys coming back from bye weeks, man. 24, Zach Wilson out the New York Jets, Guru. So what you
Um, Number 11 on our charts here.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo, I should say. Uh, I knew a guy with the exact same last name, and they pronounce it Garoppolo. So I'm thinking he's not wanting to sound too Italian. But yeah, I think he's a due for a big game, and I know that um, uh, Arizona is in a no lose situation. They can't
Yeah,
lose again, or
they can't.
they're
They
gonna be
can't,
buried.
man. They better hope they
So
get Kyler Murray.
look
Yeah.
for that to be a high scoring game. I think Arizona will probably pull it out in the end,
Mm,
hopefully.
mm,
But hopefully for them anyway.
mm.
And I'm going to mention this guy's name one more time just because I can't believe there's a Hall of Fame quarterback that switched teams and he's doing this bad. And that's our number 15 guy,
Mm.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Number 15. I mean, I've been hoping that he would right the ship. They've been lucky; their defense has won a few games.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still in contention or not with that kind of funky division they're in.
Hmm.
But it's time for that team to either. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I can't imagine him continuing
Right.
this long streak unless there's an injury that he's hiding that he's not telling anybody about. I mean, I can't imagine them just continue
Right.
losing, or just not producing.
Okay.
Even though they won a few games, they're getting next to no production from their offense,
Hmm.
and that's something that really needs to straighten itself out.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have much else to rattle on about. If you want to hit something there,
No, a lot of guys coming back from the bye week, man. It's a lot of QBs who were on a bye last week. So, like what I see here out of the rankings. So, we'll see what's going on. Like I said before, I thought I liked how Jeff Saturday came in. I know there was a lot of controversy about giving him that position, but I like what Jeff Saturday did. He's a veteran guy, played with Indy for quite some time. Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, and said, "Hey, we still got life here, man. We're gonna go with the veteran Matt Ryan." And Matt Ryan got it done for them. So I'm looking for a big game again this week, even though it's against Philly. Looking for them to still be a little bit more conservative, run that ball a little bit more with Jonathan Taylor, who had a pretty good game as well, and see what Matt Ryan can do. Even though Philly lost, so we'll see how they bounce back. So I like what they did out there in Indy. That's really about it for me and QB. So let's go ahead and get on to the kickers.
yeah, let's get them, knock them out the way real
Knock them
fast.
out real quick, fast. Let me pull up the rankings here. All right, let's get it going. Top 24 kickers. Okay. Uh, Justin Tucker, number one, obviously, he's always number one. Big, 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 big legs there. Harrison Bucker, number two. Tyler Bass out of Buffalo, number three. Will Lutz from New Orleans, four. Evan McPherson out of Cincy, five. Nick Folk coming in at six. Robbie Gold following him at seven. Brett Mayer from Dallas at eight. Daniel Carson out of the Vegas Raiders, number nine. 10, Graham Gano out of the New York Giants. 11, Young Ho Koo out of Atlanta. 12, Joey Slide of Washington. 13, Greg Joseph out of Minnie. 14, Cameron Dicker from the Chargers. 15, Carol Santos from the Bears. 16, Mike Bagley out of Detroit. 17, Brandon McManus out of Denver. 18, Jake Elliott from Philly. 19, Mason Crosby from from Green Bay. 20, Greg Zerline from the Football Jets. 21, Chase McLaughlin from Indy. 22, Matthew Wright out of Pittsburgh. 23, Tristan Vizcaino out of Arizona. 24, Kaimi Fairbairn out of Houston, Texas at 24. So that's your kickers there. Scrolling right on over, Guru.
Yeah, because again, man, the sooner they do away with kickers in
You
fantasy,
know,
just completely,
let's get to these.
it'll be a happy day in my
Let's get to the receivers, man. Bye weeks real quick are the Jags, Dolphins, Seahawks, and the Bucks. Those are your bye weeks. Number one, probably the greatest catch I've ever seen. I mean, that Odell Beckham Jr. catch was obviously a huge. This one
yes.
here, whew, man, that was huge. Man, that was sweet. Justin Jefferson, that
Yeah,
was.
it's definitely in the team photo
Oh my
for
gosh,
top of all
man.
time. That was. I mean, not only the fact that it was a miraculous catch, what added to it was what time of the game it was, and how
Exactly,
desperately they were in need of that catch.
exactly.
And he just came up and pulled it. I mean, I didn't think there was any way he was going to make that catch.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to
yeah,
happen. I was like, oh man, it's over, and
yeah,
it wasn't.
yeah. I think
He
we all
said not
thought
so
that.
quick.
Right, we
Yeah,
all
so
thought it. All right. Two, Devontae Adams. Number three, Stephon Diggs. He also had a big catch. Four, DeAndre Hopkins. Five, T. Higgs from Cincy. Six, A.J. Brown. Seven, C.D. Lamb from Dallas. Eight, Amon St. Brown out of Detroit. Nine, Keenan Allen's back from IR for the Chargers. Be a big pickup for them. Number 10, Chris Olave Kind of slipped off a little bit, so I'm hoping we can kind of see this speedster a little bit more. I know I wish I can selfishly. 11, Michael Pittman Jr. out of Indy. 12, Mike Williams from Chargers. He's also coming back. So we're hoping to see the Chargers light up a little bit more. 13, Terry McLaurin out of Washington. 14, Alan Lazard out of Green Bay. 15, Deebo Samuel, San Fran. 16, Devontae Smith. 17, Gabe Davis. 18, Garrett Wilson out of the Jets. 19, Brandon Ayuk. 20, Cortland Sutton. 21, Jacoby Myers out of New England. 22, Tyler Boyd from Cincy. 23, Amari Cooper from Cleveland. 24, Rondale Moore out of Arizona. 25, Marquez Valdez-Scantling out of KC. 26, Paris Campbell from Indy. 27, Kadarius Toney out of KC. 28, Darnell Mooney out of Chicago. 29, Adam Thielen. 30, Allen Robinson. 31, Deontay Johnson out of Pittsburgh. 32, DJ Moore from Carolina. 33, Christian Watson, Green Bay. 34, Donovan Peoples-Jones. And then coming in at 35, rounding out the top receivers, will be George Pickens out of Pittsburgh, Guru. All right, that wraps up the receivers there.
Dive into these receivers a little bit.
Yeah.
Number 20, Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
He's going to be the Lone Ranger there for a little while. His partner in crime is injured, at least for a week. They're thinking maybe he's going to be out for 3 weeks.
Right.
There in Indy. So he has an opportunity to prove that he is truly a number one wide receiver in the NFL. I'm not talking fantasy wise. I'm just talking about NFL in general. He's got all the promise in the world. He looks the part. Unfortunately, when he's been the Lone Ranger there, the few times that he's been the head receiver, he hasn't performed.
Right.
He hasn't performed. He hasn't come through like a number one wideout.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you that if he doesn't produce now, his team is going to go down the drain.
Okay.
And number two, he's going to really show what he's made of as far as future contract negotiations go, because, very few wide receivers get the big paychecks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they throw big money at the best ones, and everybody else has to fight for crumbs.
Okay.
So he's got to come on and prove his point and prove his worth.
Okay.
That, and it's let's go to the number 9 receiver, Keenan Allen, who's been out since week 1. And it seems like it's been a very long time. They said he had a hamstring injury.
Okay.
9 weeks is a very long time for a hamstring injury, so I wonder how bad it was, or I wonder if there wasn't something else wrong.
Right.
But, he started the season, the first game that he played, before the injury, he had like 40 or 50 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right.
He was proving his worth, if you will. And hopefully he can jump right back in the mix there. Because me personally, I've been waiting for him for a long time. So hopefully he gets it right.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the number 8 wide receiver for one more minute. And that's Amon-Ra St. Brown. He has been phenomenal out of nowhere. I mean, he was an early draft pick, but people don't expect numbers out of rookie receivers very often.
Right.
And he has just exploded. He's, incredible so far this year. And we'll find out down the stretch if he's the real deal or not.
Okay.
I think that he is. He's been unstoppable for the most part. When he's been healthy anyways. He did miss a game or two with an injury, and then one game he played was hurt. You could tell he wasn't quite right because he just never got out there and got started, got going. It was just a dead game for him.
Right.
Other than that, that's all I got. If you got any questions about receivers, or if you got any
a couple
comments
things.
about anybody, let me know.
I just got a couple things, man. Just want to talk about a couple of trending ones that I'm just not sold on yet. I won't be unless you're in dying need to pick up some receivers. I wouldn't be rushing to get these guys, although they're trending. First one would be Allen Robinson out of the Rams. So down goes Cooper Cup. So that makes Allen Robinson your number one receiver there. But you know, Robinson and Matthew Stafford they haven't gelled all year long, pretty much. You know what I mean? So I don't see that them linking up as much. I mean, he'll get his looks, but hell, Stafford may not even play again. He's in a protocol, so he still may not even play. So I wouldn't rush just yet on an Allen Robinson. Maybe you want to pick him up just to have him on the bench if you need him later in the season. You got to kind of see how that goes. And they got to match up against New Orleans. At New Orleans plays pretty tough at home. So especially if
Yep.
Stafford doesn't play, that wouldn't be a good matchup. My second one, another trendy guy is this Christian Watson guy out of Green Bay. Um, they believe he can be the next guy out of there. I wouldn't be so quick to pick him up just yet. If they were playing Sunday, maybe, but they're playing Thursday. I don't like those Thursday games. That's just me. I hate those quick turnarounds, and I just don't see them clicking right away again. Plus, they're playing Tennessee. Tennessee's got a tough defense, even though it's at Green Bay. They got a tough defense, so I'm not rushing to pick up a Watson unless you just need a guy. You may just want to throw him on your
If you got
roster.
room on your roster, it's
Yeah,
better. I would recommend scooping him up.
yeah. If you get
He looks like he's going to be the number one target there. He
right,
looks like he just came in and took over.
he
Obviously,
did right. If you get
that's it's
room.
one game. It's one game.
It's
I
only
know
one game,
fantasy.
exactly. It's only one
Most
game,
of
but
the fantasy world has blown up over
exactly. But
him,
they're
and
saying,
he's
he could be the guy. You know what I mean? Defense is gonna start respecting this guy's speed, and once they do, then hopefully that'll open up to the other guys out there in Green Bay. So keep an eye on that guy there. But if you're in a league with you know, you had a 12-man league, then yeah, he's a guy you probably want to go ahead and put onto your roster. If you're a 10-man league, then you can hold off a little bit. I'm sure there's other guys out there, that may be worth getting. Jacoby Myers, he may be out there in some of your leagues still. Donovan People Jones, he may be out there. So those guys you can take a look at. But that's it though, Guru. That's the stuff I had, was gonna go over. Yeah, Donovan People Jones would be a big pickup if he's out there. To have you need a receiver. But that was it for me though, man. As far as the receivers though.
all right. Well, on that note, I guess we'll call it a session here. We'll cut off and get to the other recording, other show here. Just want to remind everybody again: hit the like, hit the share, all that good stuff. We want the more the merrier, if you will. So
The more the merrier, man. Yep.
that said, so you want to sign us off?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and sign off, man. That's session one. QBs, kickers, and wide receivers. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Go ahead and grab a quick snack, grab a sip, and we'll finish off this with running backs, tight ends, and defense, man. So, Fantasy Pro Insiders, baby, we'll be back.